The sanctity of human life is under assault. Find out how and what you can do about it in this edition of Life Matters with Brian Johnston, Western Regional Director of the National Right to Life Committee. Brian Johnston is the Western Director of the National Right to Life Committee. He has served in many capacities while advocating for innocent lives, as California Commissioner on Aging, as Chairman of the California Pro-Life Council, on the board of the National Legal Center for the Medically Dependent and Disabled. And now here's our host, Brian Johnston.
Welcome back to Life Matters. We're your program on the right to life, on what it is. You see, it's a very specific thing. It is a claim that there is a legal right to be alive, that it's given not by the government, but it's given by our Creator. But the assertion of our founding fathers in the United States of America is that a just government has a duty to protect or ensure this right. And that's why governments are instituted among men. They were not the first to assert this. The idea that a just government has a duty to protect the lives of those that are governed echoes throughout history. That government has great authority, but it must use that authority properly if it's to be a just government. And a just government will ensure that innocent people in that society are not killed by those who are stronger or more powerful, who will take their lives, miscreants, if you will, bad guys. Bad guys, we call them in California. But that's the reason there are policemen. There are those with authority to say, wait, I am here on behalf of the government to stop the killing of an innocent person. I will stop a bad guy, and I will protect the life of an innocent person. That's why just governments exist. And then the innocent can go free and go about their lives. That's freedom. And that's what America has been given. But the first premise is that your life is valuable. Because your life is valuable, everything else you do, your speech, your person, papers, and property, your right to keep and bear arms, those are all great things. Those are good rights. But they emanate from your right to exist and to not be killed by someone who's stronger than you. So it's the first of the essential rights. And you know that already. If you listen to Life Matters, we talk about that a lot. We have to think through to the principles that are at stake in this debate. There's a lot of emotions that get kicked around in this debate, and there's a lot of assertions that get kicked around. But emotions do not make objective facts, and certainly assertions are not facts. You have to make sure that your assertions and your ideas that you build on are rooted in an objective reality. So it's very important. That's what we focus on here. Right now, we're seeing, speaking of laws and having laws that protect the innocent, we're seeing a lot of law breaking now after the Dobbs decision, because those who wish to have unlimited abortion rights in our nation have decided they don't want babies protected. They don't want the mothers of those babies informed or protected. Any laws like that are evil in their mind, and Elizabeth Warren has come out specifically and demanded that crisis pregnancy centers be closed down. We're going to hear right now from a hearing at the U.S. Senate where Senator Josh Hawley, who is really a dynamic man, I appreciate him, he's doing a hearing on crisis pregnancy centers in the attempt by other members of the Senate to simply declare them illegal. Declare them illegal. After that, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about a crisis pregnancy center specifically in New York State and what happened to them. And we're going to talk about things, of course, in California, where there is a lot of activity when it comes to the legal right to life. And a lot of people are recognizing that they've been lied to. You were lied to about Roe v. Wade, and the media was involved in that lying. And they're continuing to lie about what the right to life is and about what this debate really gets down to. So we're going to talk on all those things. But first, Senator Hawley.
Ms. Matzke, let me ask you something. Yeah. So you provide health care to women free of charge, right? Is that right?
Absolutely.
You've done this for many years.
Yep.
You have licensed medical professionals at your pregnancy care centers. Is that right?
That is correct.
And what are some of the resources that you provide for women who come to you in a time of need? So, just give us you talked about it in your written testimony, but just give us a sense of it.
So we have 3 OBGYN doctors, 5 registered nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, phlebotomists, medical assistants, and we provide prenatal care, OBGYN care. We provide pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, well woman visits, breast exams. We provide a wide range of medical services. Yes.
So what do you think about the DC politicians now saying that your clinic and the other 3,000 pregnancy care centers around this country are fake medical clinics? For instance, Senator Warren has said it's now more important than ever to crack down on so-called crisis pregnancy centers that mislead and deceive patients. Senator Menendez, crisis pregnancy centers jeopardize women's health and well-being, all while elevating unproven theories about birth control. Senator Warner wrote to Google asking them to censor search results for care centers like yours, saying, directing women to fake clinics that traffic in misinformation is dangerous to women's health and undermines the integrity of Google's search results. Do you run a fake clinic? I mean, is that what's happening here? You don't provide actual medical care to actual women?
We absolutely do not run a fake clinic, and we have a full medical staff. Like I said, many of our medical professionals have experienced abortion for themselves, including our OBGYN doctor who used to perform abortions. So our entire medical staff is there for women, whether they choose abortion and walk out the door or whether they choose life for their baby, and we support them for years after that.
Do you think there ought to be an ideological test to be able to get medical care in this country? I mean, should we say to women, well, you have to agree with the DC Democrats' ideology, otherwise you can't go get medical care? Or maybe for you and the physicians who work at your pregnancy care center or the thousands of others across the country, should we impose an ideological test on them and say that, well, you have to agree with the DC Democrats' position on abortion or you can't provide medical care to women? Should we do that in this country?
Absolutely not.
I just want to ask in my few remaining seconds here, Ms. Harley, the Dobbs decision, as I understand it, I've read it now a number of times, it gives to voters the decision as to what laws should be pertaining to life and pertaining to abortion in all 50 states and other jurisdictions around the country. I'm just curious, do you know what percentage of voters in this country support the DC Democrats' position that they want to impose on the entire country, a one-size-fits-all rule they want to impose from the top down? Do you know what percentage of voters support their position, which is also, by the way, the same position taken by North Korea and China, other notable violators of human rights? Do you know what percentage it is?
I know that nearly 90% of Americans oppose abortion in the 3rd trimester. The number that would support abortion up to the moment of birth has to be minuscule. It's a horrific policy.
Yeah, I mean, based on the most recent Harvard poll that was just released just a few days ago, it's less than 10% of voters say that they would support abortion into the final month of pregnancy, and yet that is the law that the DC politicians want to impose on every voter in America, to take this away from the people, take it away from my state, take it away from all the other states and the voters in the states, but impose this law uniformly that is not supported by 90% of the American people. Talk about anti-democratic. At the same time, they want to shut down 3,000 pregnancy care centers all around this country. That's radical. Thank you for being here.
Life Matters continues after this.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, CEO of MyPillow. I support this show, and I would like to offer you our biggest discounts for listening. So please go to our website, mypillow.com, and put in the promo code at the end of this message to get the biggest discounts. Again, thanks for listening, and God bless.
I got a pair of my slippers from the MyPillow company. They're incredibly comfortable. I actually wear them out on errands. They're cool in the summer, as well as very warm in the winter. Any MyPillow product, you can get their highest discount when you use the promo code LIFE, L-I-F-E. Very important. Go to MyPillow, any of their many products. Use promo code LIFE, all caps, LIFE, LIFE. So go to MyPillow, put in the promo code LIFE, and you'll get some wonderful discounts because Mike Lindell believes in you and because life matters.
And now back to more Life Matters with Brian Johnston.
Welcome back to Life Matters. We've been talking about the current situation in the United States of America and how those who want abortion on demand are now breaking the law openly. They're using threats openly. They're defying federal law in intimidating federal judges. It is against the law to intimidate a judge, and yet they are intentionally having threatening demonstrations in front of justices' homes. Now, you may think, well, they're just exercising their freedom of speech. Think about it for a moment. A judge is not the same as other politicians. In our form of government, a judge should not respond to threats. A judge should not be subject to popularity contests. Now, an elected politician can be subject, and often is subject to popularity contest. You make your opinions known to a politician. But a justice is supposed to determine higher law. What are the principles at stake? If you can threaten a judge, you are devolving now into mob politics. That is to say, you are pressuring someone who has to make an important decision. That's what the mafia does. Think about it. The mafia says, look, if you will make your decision in our direction, we'll leave you alone. Hey, we're going to promise protection. Look, you go with us, we're not going to let you get hurt. But if you rule against us, we will possibly hurt you. We're definitely going to get rid of you in some way. So this form of threat is actually against the law in the United States of America. But our current Justice Department is not enforcing that law because our current administration, the Biden administration and all of his lackeys, endorse abortion on demand. So this is a clear breaking of the law, and we're seeing that more and more. As we mentioned, and as Senator Hawley was examining, this is happening against crisis pregnancy centers. You know, there are thousands, I think it's in excess of 3,000 crisis pregnancy centers across the nation that help women. And that's what needs to happen when a young woman is pregnant. Hopefully she's married, and hopefully there's a man that'll help her, a husband. And that's how families are formed. Many of you know, if you study what Marxism says, Marxism loves abortion because Marxism hates families. The family must be destroyed. That is actually a quote from Karl Marx. The family must be destroyed. And that's why abortion is an essential element of Marxist thinking, and they must have it. But when a young woman gets pregnant, it's true. My wife has been pregnant many times, and we have 5 children, and we had a miscarriage. And it's a lot of challenge for a mom. She needs my help, and I'm honored to help her. But sometimes a woman gets in a situation where the guy flakes out, where she hasn't thought it through. For any number of reasons, she needs help. She needs help. Killing her baby, 5 minutes on an abortionist table to kill her baby and then send her out, that doesn't help her because she knows intuitively she's involved in killing her baby and assenting to it. So crisis pregnancy centers, there's more than 3,000. I'm proud and glad to support crisis pregnancy centers. They are the Red Cross of the pro-life movement. Those who are wounded, those who we don't want to die. We have crisis pregnancy centers, and they now outnumber Planned Parenthood almost 4-1. But there's illegal activity now, threats against them, against these good works. And you're going to hear about that. We're going to talk to Daniel Tomlinson, who is the director of a crisis pregnancy center. He's the outreach coordinator and vice president. And he's at Compass Care up in Albany, New York, in the northern part of New York State. And you're going to hear the story of Compass Care, which is just people. It's just people that are helping moms in need. And if there's a mom in need, let us know. Let us know here at Life Matters. We'll find help for her. Let any pro-life group, let any pro-life church know, because that's one of the reasons churches exist. It's to help people, not to encourage the killing of babies. We've talked about that in other programs. Go back to Life Matters and podcast. Go back to the podcast. We talk about some misplaced religious ideas that embrace killing human babies as a form of love. It's a very misplaced theology. But in fact, there are people ready to help. Yet the laws are being broken. There are threats against these crisis pregnancy centers every day. And you need to know that this is going on. So right now, join me as I interview Daniel Tomlinson of Compass Care in New York.
Thanks so much for having me, Brian. My name is Daniel Tomlinson. I'm the VP of Advancement at Compass Care Pregnancy Services, headquartered in New York, which is the abortion capital of America, with more abortions per capita than any other state in America. Very first state to legalize abortion in 1970, and have the most permissive abortion laws in the world after China and North Korea. So that's where Compass Care is located, in the hotbed of pro-abortion politics and the hotbed of pro-abortion media and culture. And on June 7th, Compass Care's Buffalo office was firebombed by a pro-abortion terrorist group calling themselves Jane's Revenge. They took credit for the firebombing. Early mornings of June 7th, broke all the windows, threw in Molotov cocktails, and caused catastrophic damage to Compass Care's medical office in Buffalo. Compass Care has 3 physical locations: Buffalo, Rochester, and Albany. And the Buffalo office was the one that was attacked, and causing a ton of damage to the building, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage to the building in Buffalo.
Wow. Well, that's extraordinary. And what's even more extraordinary, though, Daniel, is that you just didn't walk away from those ruins. Tell us what happened next.
Absolutely not. You are 100% correct. The goal of Jane's Revenge, of this pro-abortion terrorist group, was to shut Compass Care down because they hate what Compass Care stands for, what Compass Care does, which is offer services to women who are seriously considering abortion, ethical medical services, and comprehensive community support, and the love of Jesus Christ to women who are seriously considering abortion and who are in need of help. So Compass Care offers ethical medical care, comprehensive community support, and that did not stop. Actually, the very day of the firebombing, Buffalo patients were rerouted to the Rochester office, which is 60 miles east of Buffalo. We had a woman, we'll call her Ruby. She had started a chemical abortion. She wanted to reverse the effects of that deadly drug, and she came to Compass Care the day of the firebombing. She couldn't be served at the Buffalo office because it was smoking. She came to Rochester, was served, did an ultrasound, was able to start the pregnancy-sustaining progesterone to save the life of her child, snatch that child from the very jaws of death. And not only that, but when presented with the gospel, she submitted her life to Christ. So that was the day of the firebombing. The Buffalo nurses were serving Buffalo patients the very next day at an alternate location, a secure and undisclosed location, and have been rolling full steam ahead the entire time while rebuilding the firebomb medical office in record time. The goal was 52 days. 52 days from the firebombing, we're going to reopen that office and start serving patients in the back in our home base. And that is exactly what happened. Had a grand reopening celebration on Saturday, July 30th, celebrating with God's people and supporters from across Western New York, celebrating what God has done through his people to rebuild the breach in the pro-life wall there in Buffalo.
That's very exciting. Now, I have to ask a couple of questions really quick. One is, did you get any government grants or aid in the rebuilding of the Compass Care facility?
Yeah, it's interesting that you ask that because Compass Care doesn't get a dime from the government. Compass Care is 100% supported by the church, by the generosity of pro-life Christians all across the nation who are invested in serving women and saving babies. And it's interesting you ask that because while Compass Care was attacked, there's been over 40 I think it's 45 pregnancy centers have been attacked over the last few months, either firebombed or vandalized, windows smashed in, graffitied by this domestic terrorist group. New York's Governor Hochul has allocated millions of taxpayer dollars for security for abortionists. And not a single abortionist, to our knowledge, not a single abortionist has been attacked. And we're coming up over 100, if you count in all the pro-life organizations and all the churches that have been attacked. There have been over 100 attacks on pro-life organizations and churches since May. And not a single arrest has been made against pro-life organizations, of any of these attackers on pro-life organizations.
Right. No, exactly. No, there's something very amiss there. And I'm very proud of you and the people of Albany and the northern New York State area in what you're doing, because it's people that care. It's people that need to step up. And very often as Americans, we think a very un-American thought. Well, we'll just let the government step up. We'll let the government do it. The government will bring us goodies. But that often comes with concomitant problems.
That's absolutely right. Well, I just want to say here that everything that Compass Care does, the reason Compass Care exists, the reason there are thousands of passionately pro-life Christians who are praying, who are serving, who are giving, is because we're all driven by the same belief. And it's the belief that all people are made in the image of God. From the womb to the tomb, from the moment of conception till natural death, every single human being is made in the image of God and is fully and equally human. And that means both the woman and that preborn child. And so what we have done in America, what we have done here in New York State is we've carved out an exception for the preborn child and said that they are less than human and we can dispose of them at will. And here in New York, it is, again, the abortion capital of the U.S., and we have said that the preborn child is not a person. And you and I and pro-life Christians all across America stand up and say, no, the preborn child is a person, and they are of equal value, of equal worth. And this is why Compass Care exists. And this is why the people of God are so passionately pro-life, because every other injustice has a group rallying around it. But only the church, only God's people are rallying around and seeking to defeat the evil of abortion, coming alongside women who are considering abortion, giving them the compassion and support and love and dignity and that they deserve because they're made in the image of God, as well as loving and dignifying and respecting the life of the preborn child.
Yes, exactly. And literally since Roe v. Wade, nearly 50 years ago, this is what the pro-life movement has been doing. It hasn't been looking for government money to do it. It's been doing this because these are human beings. And it's human beings that need to step up. Now that the laws can be changed, and they can, our opponents are terrified. They no longer own the right to kill. And this is threatening them, but you at Compass Care are offering the real answer, which is compassion, which is speaking up for those who can't speak for themselves, and then offering them an answer. I think of Christ, he really was very clear. There's two types of mercy. There's spiritual mercy. A work of spiritual mercy is when you lead someone into the truth. We need to know what the truth is, and that's very, very important. But a work of corporal mercy is when we help their physical need, and that's just as important. So we need to know what the truth is, but we need also to have comfort and the love, the human love, which is so necessary, that touch of another caring person. That's why God has put us on the earth, is to bring truth and love, and that's what Compass Care is doing. Well, tell me this, Daniel, what is the web address for Compass Care?
Yeah, so folks can go to erasingtheneed.com. That's erasingtheneed.com. And that's the supporter-facing website for Compass Care. It's part of our Compass Care's mission statement, which is to erase the need for abortion by transforming a woman's fear into confidence. Because you're absolutely right, Brian. It is the truth that will set you free, is what it says in the Gospel of John. And it is the truth about abortion and the truth about that shines the light on the darkness and the evil and the lies, the deceit, the manipulation, the coercion that leads women, that drags women, that coerces women into an abortion decision, or a decision they wouldn't otherwise make. Abortion is being billed as empowerment, and what it represents is abandonment. It's being said it's all about choice when it's really about coercion. And so the people of God stand up and say, no, there is a better way. There is a way that does not take a physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual toll on you, young woman who is feeling desperate and afraid. And there is a different way for you and your child to either parent or make an adoption plan. So this is why Compass Care exists, not just in the physical locations here in New York to serve women in New York and the women who are going to be traveling to New York in a post-Roe America, but also Compass Care has an online telemedicine platform to help reach and serve women across the nation before they get on a plane and travel to an abortion hub state, or before they go online and buy lethal abortion drugs, chemical abortions from the online abortion business. So this is all part of Compass Care's mission to erase the need for abortion by transforming that woman's fear into confidence.
Yes. Well, we're going to have to talk again soon, Daniel. One of the things I was stunned, I thought that we in California had the highest per capita rate of abortion. A sad distinction, and if you're willing to take it there. But also California, as you know, like New York,
that's right,
promising to spend taxpayer money from our state to send out agent provocateurs to recruit pregnant women. I consider them to be abortion coyotes.
Yes.
Wanting to bring young, pregnant, vulnerable women going through an emotional time. They have to find them, and then they're going to offer them flights. They're going to offer them, when they come to California, the state of California is going to pay for their room and board. If they need to stay a couple extra days, that's fine. If they missed any work, we'll make up the difference. The taxpayers, Gavin Newsom is guaranteed there'll be a check in your hand. Just come here.
That's right.
And kill your baby.
Yep.
And so it's extraordinary, and it's sad that we do bookend the continent, but this battle isn't over with Dobbs. What Dobbs has done is it now has brought the battle for life to a place where finally our hands are untied. We can finally have laws in each state. It's going to be an uphill battle in many states, in our two states in particular, but there's many states that step forward, and we're excited that the answers are still there. And that's
right.
Yeah, Compass Care is bringing answers, and the people, particularly the people of God, have answers. The government usually, if the government says, I'm from the government and we're here to help you, watch out.
Yeah, lock your doors.
That's right. That's right. Daniel, thank you so much. Appreciate you and your work there at Compass Care in Albany and northern New York.
Thank you so much. Really a joy to be on with you.
Life Matters continues after this.
You know about our car donation program at California Pro-Life. We use one of the most respected programs in the nation. Go to the California Pro-Life page, californiaprolife.org. Scroll to the bottom and click on Donate My Car. It's that easy. Did you know you can also donate any vehicle, boat, motorhome, or even personal property? If you are nearing retirement age, you can also get a tax deduction by earmarking a portion of your upcoming compulsory distributions from your 401k. Just email us for information. California Pro-Life is fighting to equip California pro-lifers with understanding and the tools to again protect the unborn and other vulnerable innocents. Thank you for your help in this battle. Go to californiaprolife.org. That's californiaprolife.org for more information.
And now back to more Life Matters with Brian Johnston.
Well, it's quite amazing what we're facing right now in the post-Dobbs era. Dobbs allows citizens to finally have a voice in their state, whether or not their state laws will protect the innocent. And that's a great threat to those who want unlimited abortion on demand. No informed consent, no protection for these moms. This is very, very serious stuff. The laws are being broken. Threats are being made. You heard about Jane's revenge. It is ironic. They're supposedly naming themselves after Jane Roe. But I met Jane Roe, and she admits that she was used by the abortion industry. She was very confused at the time, and they lied about her pregnancy situation, and yet she became a very useful icon. Norma McCorvey came to many National Right to Life conventions and worked with Father Frank Pavone. So that was who Jane Roe was. And yet Jane's revenge is firebombing crisis pregnancy centers. And I can assure you that when she was pregnant, that Norma McCorvey would have loved to have help for her situation. But the PR teams, NBC, ABC, PBS, LA Times, New York Times, San Francisco Chronicle, AP, they have an agenda. They have an agenda, and it's encouraging crime now in order to promote abortion. I want to take a little bit of time because every state now has decisions to make. Your elections that are coming up in your state are critically important. Please make sure that you're involved with your local Right to Life affiliate, involved in the civics process of raising your voice in the electoral sphere, electing pro-life advocates to every level of office. Please make sure you're doing that. Here in California, we're going to have on the ballot this fall Proposition 1, which will enshrine abortion in the Constitution of California. They're misrepresenting what it really does. They're intentionally lying. If you've listened to our earlier podcast, again, if you're listening on the radio, you can get a lot more information at lifematters.life. We have several programs that never make it to radio. They're podcasts. Our goal is to equip you with an understanding of what's happening right now. We know you have the intelligence, but the media has been lying to you. So intelligent people who are working off the wrong facts often come to the wrong decisions. Our goal at Life Matters is to equip you with the facts of life, what the right to life debate is actually about. By equipping you, we want you to go out and make a difference in your state. Here in California, please go to californiaprolife.org. That's California Pro-Life, all spelled out, no hyphens, californiaprolife.org. You'll see the things that are coming up. We're working throughout the state to equip folks to understand. And whatever community you're part of, your church community, consider yourself an ambassador to others in your church because they've been lied to. And sadly, maybe you're part of a church that's confused. Again, go back in our podcast, but there's some denominations that don't care about human babies and think that they're a burden. And that's going to help moms if we kill those babies. That's very, very much a misunderstanding of Christian principles, in my opinion. But you can go ahead and read the scriptures, and you can go ahead and look at the impact that it has. The number of women who regret their abortions is innumerable because it's killing their child. So that's not a way to help her or that baby. So please, we want you to be involved in helping the law to protect those women and those babies again. Before 1973, the law was used to protect the vulnerable innocent. That's what our founders said the right to life is about. Protecting those that can't possibly protect themselves. And every state before 73 had laws that protected that child in the womb. We want to restore those laws. Be involved. Get active. Elect only pro-life people. Be intelligently active in the right to life because life matters.
Learn more about everything in today's show online at lifematters.life, where you'll find all the resources you need to protect life. Life Matters is a production of the California Pro-Life Council, the state affiliate of National Right to Life. Wherever you are in the nation, you can find out more at National Right to Life. You can find vital pro-life information and also find the access to your state and local Right to Life affiliate. Get informed and get involved.